What's up, everyone? SBJ here. Welcome to a special episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. I am recording on, well, technically it's Thursday morning at 1 a.m. and I just completed my first half day of Pokemon GO. Not really a full day because Pokemon GO did not come out in the United States until about 8 p.m. Central Time. Maybe a little bit before that, but around that time. I wanted to do a mini series with Pokemon GO just because it's new and because it's exciting, and you guys really seemed to like when I did my walkthrough of Pokemon X and Y when that came out. Not really a walkthrough, but my experiences through each gym, which was about 10 episodes long. I wanted to do something of the sort for Pokemon GO, and so I thought this will probably have a corny name like Pokemon GO Journal Series or something of the sort, but this is not a normal episode of It's Super Effective. There won't be any news or no Pokemon of the Week. This will not get in the way of the normal episodes of It's Super Effective. Those will still happen. You will still get your classic every Monday Pokemon podcast episode there. But let's actually just dive right into things with Pokemon GO here. I couldn't really sleep because I kept opening the app every couple minutes and seeing if there was any new Pokemon near me. Now, for the listeners who've been following the show quite frequently, and most of you guys probably know that I live in the Milwaukee area of Wisconsin, I think it's like the 26th biggest city in the United States or some obscure fact like that. Let's talk about Pokemon GO. I am using it on an iPhone 6S, and I installed it, and so far so good. I linked my Pokemon Trainers Club account. I think the other option was a Google account that you could link. I guess that makes sense because Google owns Niantic. Let's start with Trainer. Everyone has the same, every boy at least has the same exact hair. You could customize hair color, and yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on the negatives, but I was a little disappointed that there was only 3 of everything, like 3 hats, 3 shirts, 3 pairs of pants, 3 shoes, 3 backpacks. I mean, not the end of the world because it did have one of my favorite colors, orange, so I was a big fan of that. I will be very curious if they add new clothing down the line. It'd be really cool. I think it'd be easy to do, but as of day 1, I am level 3 in the Pokemon GO world, and I do not have a team yet. I know there are 3 teams, yellow, blue, and I believe red. I'm pretty confident that I am going to join the blue area. If you guys are curious of what is nearby me, I have a Weedle, a Pidgey, a Kakuna, Raticate. I caught a Spearow earlier, so there are some normal Route 1 animals in my area. Let me go to the journal here, and I can tell you guys what I caught. So as of right now, I caught 3 Pidgeys, 3 Rattatas, 1 Spearow, 1 Vulpix, 1 Hypno, and 2 Caterpies. And that was about all that I found in my area without really leaving. Now, when I actually went out to get dinner, Pokemon GO was not working. At around the same time, the Pokemon GO Twitter tweeted that they were experiencing some server problems due to the vast amount of signups that they were having. So I really didn't get a chance to see Pokemon in other areas besides my couch. Almost, I would say all those Pokemon except one I caught on my couch. And I did walk across the street because there was a Pokestop at a local bar, literally a street and a half down from me. So I walked half a block to get into range to redeem my 3 free Pokeballs. Now, I'm not sure if Pokeballs are the only thing Pokestops give. I haven't looked too much into the game. I kind of wanted everything to be fresh, but I got 3 free Pokeballs. I also remember when I leveled up from level 1 to level 2, I got 10 free Pokeballs. It seems that you start the game with 50 Pokeballs. And speaking of Pokeballs, 20 bonus Pokeballs if you don't want to wait for them from Pokestops or whatnot. there is in-game currency for Pokemon Go. Who would have guessed? Of course, a free-to-play game needs to make money somehow. All those developers have to get paid. Google has to get paid. Niantic has to get paid. And of course, the Pokemon Company International, I'm sure, wants their share of their franchise. So 100 Pokecoins will cost you 99 cents. 550 Pokecoins will cost you $4.99. Now, this is all USD. 1,200 Pokecoins is $10. 2,500 Pokecoins is $20. 5,200 Pokecoins is $40. And if for your best value, for your best bang for your buck, you can get 14,500 Pokecoins for $99.99. $100 in cash money. Now, me being an adult and making terrible decisions, I right away bought the $9.99 1,200 Pokecoins because I saw what caught my eye right away wasn't so much the Pokeballs or anything like that. It was the bag upgrade and the Pokemon storage upgrade. Now, I should have looked. I should have looked before I bought. I thought they were one-time use upgrades, but actually they don't seem to be. So, from my understanding, you can hold 250 Pokemon normally for free when you get the game by buying the Pokemon storage upgrade that ups it for 200 coins, which is about $2. It ups it to 300 Pokemon that you can hold, and you could do that again for another $2 and up that to 350. If I'm not mistaken, the app makes it seem like I could buy that Pokemon storage over and over again. So I have not yet done that, but that's what makes it seem like I haven't bought anything else. Just one bag upgrade, one Pokemon storage upgrade. I should have kind of read a little bit before. It doesn't seem like I need them now, but I suppose in the future, if I keep playing, that is something that I would probably want to invest in anyways. But I wanted to buy them just as a talking point and see how it works. Now, those are the in-app purchases. Let's talk about the top charts of the iTunes store. Just as of this recording, which again is Thursday at this point, 1 a.m. Pokemon Go is the number one free app in the Apple iTunes store. I am sure it is the same in the Google Play Store. I do not have an Android device, but I am confident that it is probably in the same position as it is in the Apple App Store. What is super interesting now is the top grossing. What this is, if you look at the App Store chart, the top grossing is the apps currently making the most money. As I'm reading this, let's do the top 5 for the App Store. It is Mobile Strike, which they show commercials all the time for that. Game of War, again, another game that has a lot of commercials on TV. Spotify Music, Clash Royale, and Candy Crush Saga. And if we want to do 6, 7, and 8, it's Clash of Clans, Netflix, and Pandora. So these apps have been talked about a lot. They run commercials. It makes sense that these are up here. These are the apps making the most money in the App Store. No surprises, no surprises. If we scroll down a little bit, Pokemon Go is actually on there. It is the number 31 top grossing app in the App Store. It hasn't even been out for 12 hours in the US, and it is almost in the top 25 apps making the most money. I'm assuming there are a lot of whales. If you haven't heard that term before, a whale is a small percentage of the audience in an app that spends the most money. So an example, I'm just rounding numbers here. Let's say whales make up 5% of your app audience. Those 5% of people will spend more money than the other 95% of people. And that's usually what keeps the app in business and keeps it going. Obviously, an app like this, server-side app, probably costs quite a bit of money to keep running. Otherwise, they would have to shut it down. So these whales would have that cash flow keep coming in for Pokemon Go. So the other people who want to play the game for free, which is totally fine, can enjoy that without ever spending a dime. But All free-to-play games have to make money somehow. Otherwise, they go out of business, or they stop getting updated, or they stop getting supported altogether. We'll keep watching the top charts for Pokemon Go. We'll see if anything changes as the game ages with time. Again, at this point, it is less than 12 hours since release. Going back to money, there are some other stuff in the shop you can buy. You can buy Pokeballs. 20 Pokeballs does come out to about $1 if you need more Pokeballs. Again, you start with about 50. Some Pokemon, in my experience, I caught, like I said earlier, I caught about 10. Some Pokemon take 1 Pokeball to catch. Some take 3 or 4 Pokeballs to catch. So I could see you burning through Pokeballs pretty quickly if you're playing the game a lot. Now, you could just go to Pokestops for free, but that involves time and traveling. It might be easier or cheaper to go, well, it's going to cost me 60 cents in gas and about 20 minutes of my time to drive to this Pokestop. Or for 40 more cents, I can save 20 minutes. I can get 20 Pokeballs. I'll just buy it right here, right now. I think at some point, depending if there are going to be more difficult Pokemon coming, that you're going to be in a crunch and you're going to probably buy some Pokeballs, which is what they want you to do. They want you to spend money so they can, keep updating the app. Yeah, so I haven't evolved any Pokemon. I have just caught some Pokemon. I haven't spent anything besides real money to buy a bag upgrade and a Pokemon storage upgrade. At this point right now, still having, actually at 1 o'clock a.m. here, still having trouble signing in. I used, as I said earlier, I used my Pokemon Trainer Club account. The game multiple times has just kicked me out to the main menu, and when I fill in my username and password, it just seems to cycle that process. Like it's not accepting my username and password. It's not telling me my password's wrong, because if I do enter my password wrong, it does let me know that my password is wrong. But if I entered it successfully, it just cycles through and has me and blanks out the field without actually accepting. Currently, I cannot log in. Not that I need any information from it. I've told you everything that I've done so far in the game. So I would assume with time that's going to get better. I am sure their servers are still getting slammed. Pokemon Go, as of this recording, is still not out in Canada or Mexico, and Europe is scheduled to have it sometime before the end of the week. Nothing that I saw or read about Canada or Mexico. Let's hope that it's about the same time for those folks there. You do start with some incense. I have not used any of those, but for those of you who have not tried it, it does attract more Pokemon to your area for 30 minutes. I would advise using that if you plan on Pokemon going for the 30 minutes. I would also make sure that you have enough Pokeballs just in case you waste a lot by failing or missing. There is an option when you encounter a Pokemon. It is an augmented reality game, and what I mean by that is you see through your phone's camera. So if I'm out on the street and I'm looking at Pokemon Go, or I encounter a Pokemon, I'm going to see the Pokemon overlaid on what my camera sees, the street, the road, grass, trees, whatever I'm looking at the time. You do have an option to turn that off, and so far I found the game more enjoyable with the AR turned off. It actually, to me, makes the Pokemon easier to catch, and the AR, while it's cool, it's almost like a gimmick that loses its appeal really fast. I know what my couch looks like. I don't need to see my couch through my camera. Yeah, there was a Rattata on it and a Pidgey. That's cool for the first time, but that is not something I need on, especially when I personally feel that catching the Pokemon is not the strong point of the game. To me, it's a little tedious of throwing the ball at the right momentum, making sure that it's straight, not crooked, because I've wasted more balls just kind of flicking my finger and the ball just going off to the left or the right and not actually hitting the Pokemon. Let me rephrase that. The Pokemon aren't escaping from the Pokeballs. I'm just not hitting the Pokemon with the Pokeballs, which is a little frustrating, because that's all on me. That's not the game. I need to, not be lazy when it comes to throwing. But at the same time, it's a mobile game. I kind of want to be a little lazy. I've already caught 2 Pidgeys. Let me just catch this third one. And I hope the Pokemon Go Plus will help alleviate some of that tediousness. I think after I see the 20th Pidgey, I will really be sick of catching Pidgeys. So I do have my Pokemon Plus on pre-order. From my understanding, the release date for that is still the end of July. That is what they said at E3. So let's hope that's true. Otherwise, I will probably start day 2 of my journey actually walking farther outside my house, driving to places. Hopefully the servers are up. I can hopefully, maybe, hopefully find a Pokemon gym or some more Pokestops. I can see some Pokestops, other Pokestops from my house, so I know they're out there. But I will be very curious where gyms and Pokestops are actually located in the city I live in. I also, for work, drive about a half hour outside of Milwaukee, so I will be very curious of where and what is out there for that. So that is why I'm doing this mini-series, to keep you guys up to date with my experiences with Pokemon Go, and hopefully you guys are having a great time with Pokemon Go. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, if you want me to address anything on one of these journal episodes that I am doing, please feel free to tweet the Pokemon Twitter or my own Twitter. Either one is fine. The Pokemon Twitter is at Pokemon Podcast. My Twitter is at Dragging a Lake. If you like what you're hearing, if you're new to the podcast, please check out our normal episodes. If you're here because of Pokemon Go, hopefully you enjoyed this. There will be more to it. I could pimp my Patreon, but instead, if you like the show, if you like what you're listening to, please take 1 second and review us in iTunes. We are almost at 600 reviews, and if we can get to that, that would be awesome. That was kind of my goal for 2016, is to get to 600 reviews in iTunes. Those help us out so much because our show is so iTunes focused. It's just the biggest market for podcasts, and that's where we do well. And yeah, otherwise, hopefully you enjoyed this. Stay tuned for the second episode of this. I don't know how many there will be, but this has been fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Have fun with Pokemon Go. I will continue Pokemon going and reporting back. So yes, have a good night. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are super effective.